Hey guys, welcome back to another tips video. This one we're going to be going over what to do inside the cave. So if you haven't checked out my previous video, it was going over the hub and everything in the hub and where to incubate your eggs and everything like that. This time we're going to be going inside the caves and explaining what to do once you go in there. So for our purposes, we're just going to go to Moonglow Grotto. So once you figure out what resource you need, like I said in the previous video, different caves hold different resources. So figure out which one you want to go into first, and then go into it. Each one is basically the same thing, just different style and different resources. So let's head over to Moonglow. So once you load in, the first thing you're going to see is this menu. This is where you're going to be able to pick your modules, your reliquaries, and your companion that you're going to be taking in. So if you want to swap any of these out, you can do it here. You can only do this at the start. It's this guy right here you can talk to, which is he's only, like I said, here at the start. So if you want to swap it out to something else, you can. You can go climbing claw or generator, path painter, whatever you decide. For our purposes, we're going to go with the generator and the thumper. I really like this combo of modules here because it's a really good combo to mine ore with, because in later tiers of the caves, you're going to be getting hit with by the flowers. So it's going to be draining your end charge and your gas, which is going to in turn make you mine a lot slower. So the barrier is going to help us with that, and then the thumper is going to help us mine quicker just in general. So we got our modules. These ones are standard modules. You won't be able to swap these out for anything else. You're always going to have the rocket boots, you're always going to have gas, end charge, and your omni tool. Here are your reliquaries. I can hold 2. You can upgrade later on to hold up to 2 reliquaries at a time, get them filled up at the same pace. So we got a reliquary here. I don't have a second one currently. And then you could also swap out your companion here. This is my favorite companion. This is just the common Kubrick. This one is going to have every companion is going to have 300 gas for the first level and the 5th level. And then this one's going to have barrier end charge gain, 15% omni tool power, and 25% rocket boost acceleration. So I like this one mostly because the rocket boot acceleration is going to make you go a lot faster through the caves. So I can get, as a endgame player, I can get to tier 5 a lot quicker. A couple other ones that I like, the Sunkiss for leak, because of the move speed and path painter cooldown, it also helps you go a lot quicker. And then this one is the rare cube. This one, instead of giving you 25% rocket boost acceleration, it gives you 25% omni tool power, so it'll help you mine a little bit quicker, but you just won't be able to move as quick. So these are the other 2 that I like as well. So we're just going to stick with our Kubrick and go on. So there's going to be 4 entrances. Each entrance is basically the same, it's just kind of depending on where you want to go. But we're going to, head north. So the first thing you're going to see are these little crystals. This is a really slow way to gain crystals, but it is a way to gain crystals. A really good way to gain crystals is the crystal pinatas that you're going to be able to get from lesser crystal caches. And I'll explain how to get those in a second. So this is a flower bomb. It will detonate when you get close to it, and it will also hurt you. And these are scattered throughout. The one good benefit of these flower bombs is that they could actually help you, because if you get them next to some ore that you want to mine, you can push them into the ore and they'll actually explode the ore for you. So this is our first little companion right here. The little symbol above him indicates what he wants from you. So there's going to be food, there's going to be med kits, and there's going to be blankets. So each little critter down here is going to have a little symbol above his head, and then you just throw down the corresponding thing that it wants. So this one's hungry, so you throw down a piece of chicken for him. One thing to watch out for while in the caves: if you don't have your rocket boots at level 6, you will take fall damage, so be careful when falling down. My boots are level 6, or level 10, so I don't have to worry about fall damage. But if you don't, be careful of that, because that will significantly drain your gas, and you won't be able to stay into the caves as long as you want to be. So this right here is a cave. So these are all caves, but this is a particular like cave or layer. This is where you're gonna be able to find possibly companion eggs. Tiers 2 and above can start spawning eggs, and you're gonna be able to get the bronze eggs at tier 2. Once you're in tier 3, you'll be able to start getting silver eggs, and in tier 5, you'll be able to start getting gold eggs. Silver and gold eggs are very, very, very rare and uncommon. Out of all my time in Geode, I've only ever gotten one silver, and I've never seen a gold egg before. So basically, if you want to go in here, this is going to be where you maybe get like a cluster of different resources. It could be a crystal cave, it could be a flower cave, or an ore cave. But it's always going to lead you to a dead end. So that's pretty much the only difference between going to here and just mining, going like normal. And make sure you feed your critters along the way if you want the crystal caches. So this one right here, as you, it looks like this one spawned as a crystal cave. You can kind of tell that by the minimum amount of ore and flowers around and the abundance of crystals around. It's not the best cave because there are better ones. There's more condensed versions of this cave, which are really good for crystal. Feed you. And we'll just look around, see if there's anything of value in here. We're not going to find any eggs in here. We're just going to find crystals. There can be large amount of crystal. It'll just be like a kind of like a 3-piece crystal. We just ran over one a little bit ago. I don't know if you saw it or not. Oh, another tip for these crystal caves actually is if you do have a thumper, throw it down, because they'll actually discover crystal that you wouldn't normally see, like here. So like this one is a big crystal piece. You can get that. It'll give you 30 crystal out of it instead of just the standard 1 crystal from these guys. So keep that in mind. And we'll just keep moving along. So if we got everything out of this cave that we want, we'll just head back to the way we came. So this is a good opportunity to show you the flower bomb. So just didn't quite get to push it where I wanted to. You can actually activate your barrier, and you can push them into the wall. You can also push them into the wall with the climbing claw as well. Oh, wrong one. There we go. So also with the thumper, you can throw it down, and it will actually highlight resources for you that are under the ground that you might not be able to see. So as you can see, there's a little bit extra ore like behind here, and that just comes with upgrading your thumper. As you upgrade it, you can see resources in higher levels of caves, all the way up to obviously tier 5. So that's another nice thing about the thumper, is seeing ore hidden behind walls that might be hidden. So moving on, we'll just head out of this cave and continue on. We're going to go up to tier 2, and I'll show you what that looks like. And like I said, you can always just keep hitting these little guys. They will give you crystal caches. Crystal caches can obviously contain crystal, as well as crystal pinata and a couple other rare resources, namely drill bits. So here's another cave. We just want to keep moving on to go to tier 2. But if you want to, you can always go to this one. Another tip that I'll give you guys is that, so if you don't, because when you come out of here, you might not remember where you were supposed to go before. So what I always like to do is leave a little mark like that, kind of, so I know where I need to go. So if I go into this cave and I come out of it and then I forget where I'm supposed to go, I'll just look for the mark that I made and then continue on my way, because it sucks when you go backwards and you end up in a lower tier and then you have to go back to where you just came from. Or I've gone all the way back to the start because I was only in tier like 1 or 2 and I got turned around. I didn't realize it. So always kind of remember where you're going, mark where you're going, and you won't get lost. Oh, here is actually a really good one here. This is a little bit different than the normal one. So he has a little treasure chest above his head. What you want to do with him is throw down a blanket on him, and then also Omni Tool him, and he'll actually give you bonus crystal out of him on top of the crystal cache. So we got around 40 crystal from him on top of the crystal cache. So right here is the next tier. This is going to be tier 2. You can tell that by the blinking lights on it, indicating 2. For tier 3, you would see 2 of these lights on, as well as a top light. For tier 4, you would just see these on the sides, and tier 5, they'll be all lit up. And we'll feed this guy, help that guy out. And then if you look from behind, the same thing. It lets you know that you're going backwards into tier 2, or tier 1, sorry. And as you can tell, as I'm standing in here, the little flower acid is actually hurting me. And it's actually lowering my end charge. The blue end charge is what gives you your Omni Tool to work. So that's why I always recommend getting a barrier like that. Because then when it hits you, it doesn't affect you. And you can Omni Tool and get your resources while still being in the goop. But pretty much every tier cave works the same way. Oh, here we go. We'll pop a barrier, push that guy into the ore, and then boom. He just exploded all that ore for us. We don't have to mine it ourselves. But yeah, so pretty much every tier cave works the same way. Just be on the lookout for the particular ore you're looking for, or the flower you're looking for. Go into caves, try and get eggs that you need. Fill your reliquaries up. Oh, this is another little thing right here. So these little like crosses, I guess, cross boxes. They're not ore, but they're actually caches. So the higher you go into the caves, the better boxes you'll get, and they'll actually go just to your inventory here. So I have a builder's chest, and then I have a builder's box. There's also a builder's vault in the highest of tier. So they'll just contain multiple resources. This one was from at least a tier 3 or 4, and that gave me builderite. And these ones, I believe, will just give gleamstone. So that is another way to get resources. But yeah, guys. So I hope you found this video helpful in getting your geode stuff done. But yeah, once you're done or you run out of gas, you'll just head back to the hub of Geode. So if you run out of gas completely, it'll just automatically take you back to the hub, and then you can go do your reliquaries or your eggs or whatever you were doing in the caves. So we got a reliquary done while we were in there, so we'll go over here and pop in a reliquary, which is right there, and we'll just let that sit for 2 hours. But like I said, guys, I hope you found this video helpful. If you did, please leave a like and maybe comment. If you have any other questions or anything I can improve upon, feel free to drop a comment, and I'll see you guys in the next one.